a very poignant video for you today, and it's from Goa. It's called Raskuluchi, but the English translation, this is how it varies. The English translation is the Raskulas, which means mermaids. And I've done a very special thumbnail for this particular video because we need to understand its contents, because the one thing about Goa is and I will read that out and repeat myself, this particular line, ever since Liverpool, where they did a guest appearance, Ukraine was hosting it in Liverpool this year for the Eurovision 2023, and Goa appeared and people said, where are they? We need new music. So this is the new video and music they have produced, because so many people were looking something else from them. They're not forgotten. Even in a war situation, they made such an impression in Eurovision. I think they went for Ukraine twice. First time, then they got it second time a couple of years back, and blew everybody's mind because they ought to have won a couple of years ago. But unfortunately, they didn't. I think Italy pipped them to the post. Now, you'll probably hear outside a lot of building and works going on. There's nothing I can do. It's a wonderful, glorious sunny day, but we have a hotel being built near my apartment, so bear with me. Hopefully it won't interfere with the video. Back to the video and back to what they say in the video that's attached. The electro-folk hitmakers Goa are presenting this brand new single, Raskule, after the release of last year's single, Kalnya, and their recent guest appearance at Eurovision in Liverpool. Fans really looking forward to hearing the Ukraine band in their new repertoire. The beautiful story explaining the origins of the song is what makes this release even more special, everybody. I want you to take note of this, because this affected me when I read it. Ruskula is a creature from Ukrainian mythology. Years ago, lead singer Kate took part in a folklore exhibition where she met a group of, that's what it is, she met a group of grannies who were resettled from their homes in Chernobyl area due to a disaster on a power plant. Now, we all know, growing up, the Chernobyl story. Those grannies showed Kate a magical ritual of accompanying Ruskulas to the forest. That experience was very inspiring to Kate, and one day she wrote Ruskula. The song is about finding yourself in a world where a person lost their home forever. A story about trying to leave your past behind. An attempt to live in a new reality. Everybody, let's not forget, 250,000 Ukrainians were homed in Ireland. It's caused a bit of a crisis because the government didn't think it through properly. But Ireland opens its doors, and what happened was the influx of people and the spaces to homes such a large population. Because remember, everybody, we only have a couple of million in this country. We don't have a huge population like other European countries, and it sorted itself out. But I've spoken to Ukraine people from the war-torn situation. I've had my coffees and met people. I've met people so happy they're working. Yes, everybody working, because they come to the country, they don't want to sit all day and look up to the sky and worry about their relatives. They need that mental stimulation. And a lot of them were doing work experience jobs, and they were so happy they were doing something. It's incredible what's happening. And when it talks here about an attempt to live in a new reality, that is what they're trying to do. They've been displaced because of an incredible, arrogant man who is opposing Ukraine. And all I can say is, welcome to Ireland always, Ukraine people. Everybody I've met has cried, shared a story, and sometimes the heaviness of, I feel guilty because my life sometimes I complain about, and what I need to do is embrace it and love it and love myself more. And I'm learning to do that through the Ukraine people I've met. So thank you for that. But it continues. The single Ruskele was released together with a musical video, which you're going to see now. Now this is the poignant bit, which was shot during a missile attack. The sounds of alerts and explosions were coming in every direction while the band was working on set. Old women in the video are keepers of Ukraine folklore, and you'll see them dressed in the beautiful folklore outfits from the ensemble Verinia, which were under Russian occupation on the northern part of Ukraine in 22. Despite a huge danger and a long way, these grannies were happy to come and take part in the video shooting. These women, who are witnesses of 2 horrible wars, are a symbol of resilience of Ukraine people who stay at their land and keep their traditions despite the circumstances around them. I've heard some horror stories what happened to the elderly in the villages, because the young Ukraine people were working in Kiev and were working in other cities, and they were shot. Think about that for a moment. I try not to. I try not to. It is a musical channel. I am filling up with tears and emotion at the moment. It is hard to speak about, even for me, because it should not be happening. And folklores and traditions are something Goa keep alive in their singing. They're so proud of their roots. They're so proud. It's like Irish dancing and Irish singing. What attracts people to Ireland? Going to an Irish pub, having a Guinness, listening to Irish dancing. Well, Ukraine people are the same. They embrace, that's why we're so relatable as populations. They embrace their traditional values. And the grannies in this video had, imagine, missiles, everything going on around them while they were shooting this video. They've seen 2 wars and they put themselves in danger to go and shoot a video. It's quite incredible. Quite incredible. These women, so we just finished. The story of Ruska is always relevant and dedicated to every person on our planet who searches for their place in the world. There has been a pledge, Ukraine people, to bring your country and defeat the opposition, and for legal reasons I cannot mention that country in this video. We know who they are. I can only say that they will be defeated. That's as much as I can say. And the world will come. Ukraine will take 20, 30 years to build again. It's the like Northern Ireland situation, the war in Northern Ireland, the bombings, everything that happened. It took 30 years. It's a long journey, Ukraine. But the love and the prayers of the people around the world, including Ireland, are with you. Let's listen to the video.
засію стежечку рано, рано до твого віконечка. Рано, рано буде люба зелено. Рано, рано. Да візьміть собі розсилочки до родої м'яти. Да не приходьте темної ночки до нової хати. Да ходять мої розсилочки до самого бару. Да не топчіть мені родоньку біля мого двору. Проведу я русалочки до пору, до пору. Сама вернусь молода, я додому, додому. Проведу я русалочки в темний бор. Сама вернусь молода я. Проведу я русалочки до пору, до пору. Сама вернусь молода, я додому, додому. Проведу я русалочки в темний бор. Сама вернусь молода я. Рано, рано засвітило сонечко, рано, рано прилетіла пташечка, рано, рано заспівала голосно, рано, рано. Рано, рано я засію стежечку, рано, рано до твого віконечка, рано, рано буде любо зелено, рано, рано.
Okay, I got a bit emotional and I'm going to keep this short because, as always, I run out of time when I do the introductions sometimes. This deserved a long introduction. The reason that when I saw the grannies was just the journey they've been through, 2 wars. It's emotional for me. It's symbolic. You see Kate getting crowned, you see the mirrors and in pillars, and she has to search. When you think of the Greek gods and Greek mythology, there is a very famous picture where all the Greek gods are looking down on the earth. But this time, Kate is looking upwards from the earth. And tradition has been kept alive. The war might strip Ukraine people of everything. The homes, the roofs over their head. I think of Anuka's video and something about a hole in the roof, and they're saying, we are closer to the stars, something like that. And I think of this, Kate looking in the mirrors and then seeing the grannies and traditional. And that's what holds dear for all of us. Tradition. I'm just going to, for the first time, I'm going to show you something that you might not believe. You can see my grandmother on a tractor, and the title says, Louth Lady wins Queen of the Plough title. My grandmother was very, very famous in Ireland for keeping tradition alive. And when a law passed years ago that said that if a woman had no male heirs, the land went to the cousin. And when my grandfather died, my gran said, no way is anybody getting the land that my husband worked day and night for and provided our family, well, my mother at the time, food, all of that. So basically my grandmother went to the courts and said, if I win a man's competition in Ireland, and it was the ploughing championships, if I win that, I want the law changed to prove that women can farm the land and ought to have entitlement to their land. My grandmother won. And I'm filling up with emotions because what she did for women in this country and moved forward was people's way of thinking, and that's what we have to do in this war situation. When you see Kate being ripped off her clothes, what happens is you are left going, what's that about? When you are stripped naked, you offer yourself up to God, don't you? When there's a war situation, missiles going on, you sit and you pray. But in this video, Kate becomes almost like, let Mother Nature take her. This is where she belongs, the earth. She needs a quiet place of rest. Is she going to be a victim? Is she going to be one with nature due to the war, due to the missiles, due to all of it? Or, like folklore and tradition that she so loves and she sings about in her lyrics, will she go into the earth and come back as a mermaid? And keep a watchful eye on the land from the sea. It's that kind of spiritual nature symbolism that's going on. I want to just touch on the lyrics. And that's why I showed you my grandmother's picture, because I can relate to somebody who felt so ingrained in Irish culture, Irish tradition, but she wanted the law changed where women were recognized. If my grandmother was alive today, she'd smile. She'd say, women fighting for their country in the army, give me a gun. I'll do it. Wow, isn't that great? Women playing Gaelic football, wow, it's amazing, because she was such a believer women should be playing football, Gaelic football in Ireland. And that happened. So much because of what my grandmother believed in changed for the better for women. And she was, people would call her a feminist, but I just call her grandmother. And I loved her. Verse 1. Very, very quickly I'm going to go through. In the green oak grove so fair, a cold, while standing there. Oh, tell me the truth, I pray. What do I dream this way? Wherever I look, wherever I go, it's not my side, I know. Or who now bids farewell? Those my Ruskla maidens. So, Kate's really expressing folklore about tell me the truth. And in a situation of a war, you go to folklore, you go to lyrics like this, and you say, oh, the myths and mythologies of my life that I grew up with, the mermaids. That's what I would like to be, if anything happens to me. And then it says, early, early the sun does rise. And I'm just going through them quickly. Early, early it'll be lovely and green. I'll sow a path loud and clear, a bird flies. It's all symbolisms of nature around you, keeping you alive. The sounds, the smells, what you take from the land, what you eat, what you put into your body, how you live. It's all, you think about it a lot more in situations like a war. And it says, bridge, take Ruskla maidens to take, rue and mint for your sake, but don't come in the dark of night to the new house. Keep out of sight. In other words, when these lyrics are being applied to the situation of the displaced Ukraine people in different countries, it's calling on mythology. You are the mermaids of the sea. Wherever we land, put our feet, keep an eye on us, keep us safe. It's like a lot of people are spiritual for different reasons. I'm a great believer in the Buddha faith. And it keeps me calm, and I have my Buddha over there, and I light my candles, and I do my incense, all of that. But other people love the thought of the seas. In the seas are calm around the land and the countries which now protect Ukraine people. There's no difference. Verse 2 says, I'll leave you Ruskla maidens away, away, and I'll return home a young bride one day. I'll lead you Ruskla maidens to the dark wood, and I'll return home a young bride. I'll lead you Ruskla maidens away. I'll lead you to the dark wood, I'll return home a young bride. So a bride of what? It's not a bride in marriage. I feel this is about folklore. I'll return a bride. I'll be married to my beliefs and my faiths that make me strong and empower me and will forge what my life's going to be. That's what I'm made and I'm married to. And long may Ukraine people feel and think that in the most volatile situations they're in. Because as it finishes, the sun rises, the bird flies, so a path to your window, it's lovely and green, and you see Kate curled up in the fetus position on the ground, because like a child being consumed with life, she's consumed with nature to take her spiritually away from a world into a world where she feels safe, but it can also protect. And the mirrors that you saw in the video was, I don't see anything, because we all go through life where we don't see, and then suddenly we see something. And what Kate saw and what this song is about keeping the faith alive. Thank you for listening. Take care for now.